guys.
I'm just giving my opinion. Belfort looks deflated as shit.
Yeah, you can tell his body has changed shape for sure.
I mean, he looks like, you know, he looks just not good. You know, I mean, I wish I was in that kind of shape, but you compare it to what he had before, there's no fucking doubt. Okay, here we go. So he beat Nate Marquardt in a decision that didn't look good. Kevin Gastelum was a no contest. I think Gastelum was whooping his ass. He got his ass beat by Gegard Mousasi. He got his ass beat by Ronaldo de Souza, Jacare.
Right.
Knocked out.
Did Jacare beat the piss out of him?
Jacare knocked him out.
Jacare looked bad on Saturday.
Yeah, he did.
Not good until he just looked like he had nothing.
He looked good until he didn't look good anymore.
Knocked out Dan Henderson, but Dan Henderson was like the end of his run too.
Right.
Got knocked out by Weidman. So he's been out of his last. Okay, he's been TKO'd by Weidman, Jacare, Gegard Mousasi, and now Machida knocked out cold.
So he's lost quite a few
by knockouts. And
you think he has that sweet spot on his chin?
The last monster run that he had when he was on the gas, right? Was UFC Fight Night 32, and that was in 2013.
That's a while ago.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Maybe you do know something.
So the thing of it is that, look, it's not like he's in there and he's being competitive. He's getting knocked out. It's not good. You know, it's like we always say, and other people do too.
Gastelum looked good against Souza.
He did.
On Saturday. I don't want to like Gastelum for some reason.
Me either.
But he's that dude who just keeps coming and going, and
unfortunately, I don't think Jacare is going to get past that. He's going to be that guy that he's going to be like a top 5 guy, but
he's not going to be a champion.
He's not going to be a champion. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, look at Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping was a guy that always got right to that spot.
But if you look at the way that
Gastelum looks like he's always in it.
He was getting pieced up initially.
Yeah, the danger.
But not horribly.
The danger with Gastelum is
he doesn't stop.
As a promoter, no. As a promoter, I can't fucking bet on this guy showing up to make weight.
Yeah, but he's making weight at the weight class he's at now. Like his first couple fights, no.
Yeah,
because he was the white Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, a little bit different though. Anthony Johnson was solid muscle always. Gastelum
right, but
looked
Johnson
a little soft.
was fought at 170. Then
he fought at fucking heavyweight.
Then he couldn't make weight.
Yeah,
and then he fought at 185, couldn't make weight. And then he fought at 205 and was having trouble making weight.
He was on Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Remember when he knocked out that farm kid?
Yeah.
On the Ultimate, it looks like he murdered him. He looked like he fucking murdered him. I can't believe that dude ever fought at 170.
But Gastelum's one of those dudes, like he's fine making weight now, but you look at him and you're like you think he's going to lose? And he finds a way to win every time.
Yeah, but how long is that chin going to last?
But he looks the same the first round, the second round, the third round. He always looks like,
he's just
I'm
still
ready.
coming.
I'm ready.
And Souza is one of those guys, his jiu-jitsu is just off the charts good.
Yeah.
What did he decide to do with Gastelum?
Stand and bang.
Stand and bang.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, but didn't he blow out his didn't he try to put something on at the end?
He tried to throw like a triangle or something at the end.
That was desperation.
He was definitely working, hard that whole time.
What do you think about that split decision?
Which one?
It was a Gastelum. He won by split decision.
No, he knocked Souza out.
No, he didn't.
He dropped him in the corner.
He won by split decision.
No, he knocked him out.
Yeah.
You're thinking of the right fight?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's the first time Jacare was knocked out.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he was laying on the ground in the corner. Whatever, I guess if you have a corner.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different fight.
I think you are thinking of a different fight. He got knocked the fuck out.
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
I don't need to look. I watched the fights.
I don't know.
Who else? Mackenzie Dern versus Cooper.
Bullshit.
Now,
grossly overweight.
Yeah, how much do you think that weight really affected her?
See, the problem is,
I think it didn't affect her because she didn't have to lose the weight.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I think the other girl killed herself to get to the weight class, and then all of a sudden has to show up to a girl who's completely fresh.
But that's what I'm talking about.
And that girl has and I'm a big jiu-jitsu fan.
No, Kevin Gastelum won by a decision.
Was it?
Yeah.
He dropped him at least, right?
Yeah, but it was a split decision.
All right.
Don't you think that's a little kabuki-ish, though? If you will?
Because first round was clearly Jacare, but then second and third were clearly Kevin.
That's what I'm saying.
But the Mackenzie Dern fight, Like, her hands are horrible, and she still knocked that girl out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Do you think that if she made weight, do you think those punches would have had the effect?
You think they had a lot of beef on him?
It's a question. I mean, it's a reasonable question to ask, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, the chick's chin must be a little bit suspect, I would think. Because she didn't get hit that hard.
I just think her not having to kill herself to get to that.
She didn't even try.
She came, and she looks chunky.
Just them titties, though. She got them milk
No,
titties.
Todd said she was like 20 pounds overweight at the
She was
beginning of the week.
139 when she showed up in Brazil.
I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
No, we're talking about the
We're not
fights.
talking about that.
You guys are just sexist pigs.
You're right. But we're talking about the fights. Like, she's
I feel
20 pounds heavier.
If you're contracted, if you sign a contract to be at a weight at a specific, like, that's the only thing as a professional that you can control. I will weigh this much on this date. Everything else, you know, there's very little that you can control. An errant punch or a kick or something can get you in. Holy fuck.
Look at Wilson when he used to fight when he started out. He would walk around like 170 and drop down to 135, and now he kind of stays.
That was living with me.
Yeah, but now he kind of stays at a weight because it's required. Like, you got to be within X amount of pounds at the beginning of the week, like 7 pounds or 7%, whatever it is.
But she didn't even try.
She was so grossly over. Did you see what Brazil did to her too? The Brazilian commission. So there was already a 20% purse from the UFC fine.
From the state, Nevada State.
Brazil. No, it was in Brazil. So Brazil.
Nevada State is the governing body of them.
Brazil added another 10% because it was so grossly over.
God damn. Congratulations,
So
you won, but you didn't get, you know she didn't get no win bonus neither.
No.
They ain't going to reward that.
There was a couple other good knockouts on the fight, too.
Did you hear Namajunas is saying she wants to test her ground skills against her? And I'm like, that'd be fucking dumb.
Just grappling, like straight up grappling?
She wants to fight her. She said, I'd be interested to see how my ground skills match up with hers. I'm like,
that's really dumb.
That's really fucking dumb, girl.
Did you see who's the big heavyweight jiu-jitsu chick? She looks like the chick that was on Howard all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Nicole Bass looking.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
she fought last weekend. And she just crushed.
Remember her last fight?
She fought like a 48-year-old school teacher.
And she was overweight.
Yeah.
Did you see that last?
She walked around like 2 bills.
She got DQ'd. She got DQ'd in another fight for doing something like poking someone in the eyes or something or other.
But a couple months ago, she was supposed to fight some 40-year-old.
She fights in Ryzen, right?
She's the Bob Sapp of the female division.
And
exactly.
She didn't make weight.
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, when in Japan, when they're like, come on, what the fuck? When they say that shit, that's when you know you've got a problem.
Shit gets pretty wacky over there. Like,
oh my God, are you kidding?
Well, especially they were putting that fight on to begin with.
Yeah.
Speaking of wacky, did you see Chuck Liddell sign a contract?
That's despicable.
Why is it despicable? Don't clam up on me. Let it out.
Because he's like, okay.
He's claiming.
The fucking guy, he can still. I'm sure he can still do the road work. He can still do the fucking. You know,
how old is he now?
He's got to be close to 50. MMA is now officially at that age now where you've got stars from the past that are competing in these fucking nostalgia fights where you're like, oh my God, what the fuck?
But there's still guys out there that still have some fight in them. You put them in the nostalgia. Like we talked about the old guy division.
Yeah, but he's gonna fight Tito.
How old's Tito?
He's got to be.
Tito's not that far behind him.
Yeah, but I think Tito's taken a lot better care of himself than Chuck Liddell has.
Tito's got a fused neck. Like,
yeah, he's got a good point. It's not that
he's had some wars with
but
Ken Shamrock.
But what I mean is, number one, Tito's been competing at a higher at
43. So 43 and 48.
Okay.
Bob Honeycutt says his favorite fighter is Butterbean. He just sent that on there.
Butterbean's awesome.
Butterbean is awesome. You guys are built a lot alike.
You remember? Okay, we're gonna keep that up. Okay, well, you got the same hairstyle. So you remember when he knocked out Bart Gunn at WrestleMania Live?
Yes.
Yeah, they thought that'd be a good idea. WWE had this like tough man competition where they called it the Brawl for It All, and the whole thing was to build up a couple wrestlers, and they actually lost. So Bart Gunn, like a guy who they just threw in there, winds up winning the whole thing. So
he did well.
So they're like, okay, we're gonna have Butterbean box this dude live at WrestleMania.
Butterbean crushed him.
Just type in Butterbean Bart Gunn. It is the sickest knockout you ever seen. His head. You ever see the bobbleheads?
He just broke him in half, pretty much.
I thought he was dead when he hit him. And it was, I think it was Ray Boom Boom Mancini was the ref. And he just looks at him and is like, Jesus Christ, he's dead.
But Liddell versus Tito, like Tito's pretty old too.
Yeah, but Tito has been competing more recently. I think his lifestyle is a lot better than Liddell's. Liddell's like that party guy. Maybe he's not anymore, but he was.
You know what would be cool for me? If you bring every fighter back from UFC 1, put him back in a tournament.
Remember Harold Howard? Remember Howard Harold or whatever the guy's name was from Canada? He had the mullet. He was like, if you're going to come on.
Yeah, they had like the videos at the beginning.
Yes. And they
like
had
somebody sent a video the other day where
right?
the guy, the wrestler shot in, the black dude kind of like had him in like
Gary Goodridge.
Gary Goodridge is throwing the elbows in the sides of his head.
He
like how cool would it be to put all those guys in another tournament?
He's going through some tough times right now, Gary Goodridge.
But you got like old fighters I would like to see fight again.
Right?
I would like to see Franklin fight again.
Rich?
Yeah, in like an older division.
Well, he's like one of the main guys at ONE FC.
Yeah.
By the way, ONE FC has an app where you can watch all their fights for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's for free.
But I would like to see Rich Franklin fight. I wouldn't mind seeing who's the dude that Hughes was getting choked by, and then Frank Trigg. I'd like.
He's
to
a
see
ref. He was a ref.
I know. I saw him like a couple weeks ago. I'd like to see him fight again.
It was Bellator. He was a ref in this past week's
I'd like
Bellator.
to see Sean Shirk fight again.
But I only want to see him fight each other. I don't need to see Sean Shirk
but
get
why?
killed by
There's
some
not
going to
be any money in it. UFC doesn't.
I'm just saying I'd like to see these guys fight again. I'd like to see Jens Pulver fight again.
Yeah, we're not talking about making a whole card, but if there was a fight,
get a video, play the video game. Aren't they in the video game?
It would be cool just to watch all these guys.
But if there was one fight,
train for one more fight.
One
more fight.
I don't know.
You're up on rock.
Every UFC event, there was just one. Like, I don't want to see a whole card of it, but one fight.
You wouldn't watch
in the Legends division?
But then it would be all done.
You wouldn't watch a Legends card?
But it'd be all done after that.
That's okay.
I think you could.
That'd be kind of hard to sell.
I
think the diehards would watch it.
I would watch it for sure.
The diehards would watch it.
Who would you put Franklin against?
At 185?
Anderson Silva.
Oh, God, yes.
See?
Yeah.
You're already buying the card.
I would buy that.
Who would you put Liddell against? Vanderlei?
No. I would put Chuck Liddell in there with Rampage.
Who would you put Tim Sylvia against? Orlovsky again?
I don't think Tim could make 265, and that's not me trying to talk shit.
Let's just say he can.
He makes 265.
Put him against Orlovsky?
That would be a great fight.
They've got history. No, I would put him in there with.
No, I think
who was the guy?
I think Arlovsky
who was the guy
Silva's.
that? No, Arlovsky. Listen to me, hold on. Who was the guy who was the interim champion who fought Lesnar at 100? The big jacked up guy, bald guy.
I thought he fought Mir at 100.
No, I know who he's talking about. Oh shoot, I know exactly who you're talking about. Dude he had the biggest knuckles,
biggest hands in UFC history. His hands were actually bigger than fucking.
Yeah, I don't think that was 100, was it?
Maybe, I don't know, but
no.
he fought.
He fought Mir at 100.
He recently fought
because then he had the issue where he complained. He's like, I'm gonna drink this beer, and it was the wrong kind.
He recently fought that radio guy from Sirius XM. He does Jason Ellis. He fought Jason Ellis with one hand tied behind his back and like really hurt Jason Ellis pretty bad. God, what was his name?
That was a while ago too.
Yeah,
I would like to see.
I would like to see him face him.
I'll tell you in a second.
I would like to see that as well.
I want to see
who's the guy that Matt Hughes was fighting that had Hughes out against the cage.
Carlos Newton.
I'd like to see Carlos Newton fight again.
Shane Carwin.
That was it.
I would put Carlos Newton versus Sean Shirk.
Or Hughes.
Hughes can't even walk right now.
Yeah.
Which will give Newton a chance.
But like heavyweight division, like you want to see a really good fight. The second meeting when they fought at the Royal Albert Hall in England, Matt Hughes and Carlos Newton, he just brutalized. Matt Hughes just brutalized Carlos Newton.
It wasn't even close the second time.
No, they had the rematch. No,
but I'm talking about guys you could bring back to fight.
I got one
on this card.
How about a Barnett fighting anybody?
How about this?
But he's not like a nostalgia guy from like the early like 2000s, like late 90s.
I got one for you. Heavyweight. A heavyweight slugfest, if you will. Andrei Arlovsky versus Pedro the Rock Hizzo.
That's a good fight. That's a really good fight. But there was like 4 or 5 champions like during that like run.
Yeah.
Where they had basically there was like 1 or 2 guys that they fought a couple times.
But it's going to be hard to promote that. I mean, like
I'm already buying the pay-per-view
I'm saying,
for.
like, you got to worry, but as a promoter, like you got to worry if they're going to get cleared medically.
But you take that chance on every pay-per-view card.
And you do it on some Indian reservation, just like they did back in the day.
Yes.
Oh my God, King of the Cage style.
Just back in the day.
Fuck the rules.
You go back to the original rules where it's
No time limits.
no time limit. The only thing that's taken out is
Ball shots and eyes.
Ball
and
shots
throats.
and eyes, and you let them go.
How about coming up with that again? Finding the champion in every thing to try to get them together.
Well, that's
the
the problem. Like all these other sports don't have a champion anymore because a lot of these guys are trained in multiple things.
Yeah, it's hard to find someone who's going to specialize in one thing. But I mean, if you think about it,
But I'm sure there's a karate point champion somewhere.
Just think about this.
I'm sure.
Think about this. This happened in our lifetime. Like a lot of these kids now, like they read about it. And it's like, oh yeah, cool. That's crazy to happen. It was in our lifetime that someone had the bright idea and said, here's what we're going to do. You know that movie Bloodsport? We're going to fucking do that for real. And we're going to put it on pay-per-view.
What year is Bloodsport?
That was early 90s. First UFC was 93, 94, right?
Because I don't think there was any grappling in Bloodsport.
Yeah, but what I mean, the idea is you're going to get two motherfuckers to walk in a cage and there's no rules. And whatever happens, happens.
Out of the athletes,
crazy.
Out of the athletes that fight in the UFC now,
Yeah.
how many of them do you think would have fought in those original rules?
Not many.
Not many at all, because like those original rules, you got to be.
I
a
think
little
Liddell
fucking-
would have.
You got to be a little fucking crazy.
There was 2 rules, right? It was no eye gouging and no fish hooking.
No, it was no eye gouging and no kick to the balls in,
No.
in the
No.
first fight. And I know that because I was listening to John McCarthy on Joe Rogan.
Well,
and
they changed that.
And he said they changed it for the second one.
Okay.
Remember when Joe Son and Keith Hackney fought? And Keith Hackney.
That's exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah, Keith
That was the
Hackney.
best thing
Hackney was the one who said after whatever he's like if I'm able to use these, it'll change the way the whole fights go. I'm glad they took that out.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. He hit Joe Son so many times in the nuts that Joe Son committed multiple rapes and murders and is now in jail.
He's dead.
He
But-
died in jail. Oh,
But
wow.
out of the guys
I think so,
fighting
he
now, where you have a difference between like there's fighters and there's athletes. The guys that are
Without a doubt.
athletes now
Liddell's a fighter.
would
Which is why he's fighting.
Liddell would be in that for sure.
Yeah.
I think Vanderlei Silva would have been in that.
He did it. He did it in IVC. He fought in no rules.
I'm
valid
talking like
judo.
first UFC 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I can't really think
BJ
of
Penwood.
BJ Penwood. I think
Diaz brothers.
I think the Diaz brothers for sure.
They would still find a way to get disqualified.
I think I think Conor McGregor fights in it.
No.
No.
You don't think so?
No. He's worried about fucking head trauma now. No. Nope.
Early Conor McGregor.
Nope.
You don't think so? The guy that was ready to fight anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Nope.
How about I don't think Anderson Silva would have fought
I
in
think
it.
Diaz's whole clan.
Anderson did though fight no rules. I think he would have.
Give me current fighters that you would think would go into that though. Heavyweight division. Let's just go right to the heavyweight division. I don't see anybody.
Hunt.
I don't see Hunt doing it.
I think if he
If you're throwing in ball shots, everything except eye gouges, and
I think if you told him he could punch some dude in his nuts.
I think Verdum would do it.
I think
Verdum's
Verdum
nuts.
would do it.
Verdum is nuts.
I think
he
Hunt
threw a fucking boomerang at somebody.
do you
Covington deserved it though.
do you think
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, in a moment of anger, he was like, "Fuck you."
do you think Stipe fights in it?
No.
No, I think for him, this is just he's a competitor. I think he's like, "Hey, I'm good at this."
Okay, so he's not fighting it. John
No.
Jones?
Fuck no,
No.
You don't think?
no.
Who else at 205 would fight in it?
Current?
Yeah, current. That was my question.
How about someone like Dan Henderson?
Henderson would have fought in
That's
it.
current though. We're talking current.
Yeah, like current athletes in the UFC that are on
It's
the
fairly recent.
we're talking about on the roster right now.
How do you know he's not? Did he? Oh, you retired.
Yeah, that's usually a dead giveaway.
Yeah, it's usually fucking, it's usually a sign when we're not detectives. But that's a clue. I don't think so. Anybody really.
There's not a lot of guys that pop out to me.
I think
Eddie Alvarez?
Eddie would do it.
Yeah, I think Eddie would.
Yeah, Eddie's crazy in the best way. I mean, that
Gilbert
is-
Melendez?
No.
How about who's the other guy with the bad snaggle?
Who was the guy that fought in Kimbo's fights for a while? That's how he got signed. And then he fought in Strike Force and worked his way up. What the fuck?
What weight class is he in?
I think lightweight.
I don't know.
God, he's got the sideburns. He still rocks those. George Masvidal.
Yeah,
he would do it. He would fucking do it.
But I think to be in that original fight kind of division,
they were crazy.
You had to be a little bit crazy.
You had to be, and you had to fight multiple times in a night.
Yeah,
not just one and done. I mean,
like I can't think of anybody at 170
look,
that's like a psychopath.
You
that
might
would fight
find people that are
Diaz
tougher,
brothers.
or you might find people that are more skilled and technically better or stronger or whatever else, faster. You will never find a fighter that is tougher than Don Fry. Never.
But when I'm talking, I'm talking about guys that
his fucking mustache is so strong, he's got to use an adamantium razor just to trim it.
The guys that fight now, you have to have a certain level of crazy to fight under those rules.
It just didn't even. No,
I just ignored it.
No,
but if you could headbutt, right?
That was Mark Coleman's. That was one of his main fucking moves.
But you lose half the guys right now that would be. Probably more than that. Probably.
You tell someone foot stomps, you can get stomped out like a cigarette.
Soccer kicks.
Yes, bring that back.
You put all those you take away all those rules and you go back to the original format.
Take elbows out and put stomps and soccer kicks back.
I'm saying just original rules. The only thing you couldn't do is fucking rip a guy's eye out, basically.
Eyes and throat.
Okay, so under those rules where everything else went, no holds barred.
Yeah.
Cyborg would. I don't see a lot. I don't see
in the men's division too.
Yeah,
I don't see a lot of guys that would do it.
No, because a lot of these guys, they want to make the money. They're athletes. They're highly competitive athletes that see this lane. There's very few fighters.
Donald Cerrone?
He would do it. He would do it just to give him a six-pack. All right, I'll fucking do it.
How about who's the guy that retired that was similar attitude, dark hair?
That narrows it down.
No, he had a tattoo across his belly.
Diesel Riggs?
No,
that really narrows it down too.
No, you know who I'm fucking talking about. Matt something.
That really narrows it down.
It really does narrow it down when I give it
Hughes?
name. No,
Matt Classic.
No, you fucking Matt. He's out of Colorado. He's fought in a ton of fights. He's one of those drop down.
Matt Brown.
Yes, thank you. And I did narrow it down by the first name.
No, you narrowed it down with the Colorado
and Matt Brown and Matt.
Retired.
Yeah, Matt Brown would do it for sure.
We're only talking about current fighters on the roster.
All right, but he just recently retired.
You did kind of
retired. Did give it away.
You fucking cunt.
But Matt Brown was one of those dudes that would do that for sure.
I think, yeah.
You think Chris Lieben would have?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah, I think he probably.
I think Chris Lieben would have dipped his hands in the glass.
The Taipei. Yo, I saw that. I saw that in Philly live.
What?
It was ECW.
Don't say it was wrestling.
No, but it was real. I'll show you the match. It was.
And they're punching each other in the face.
I'll show you the match. It was Axel and Ian Rotten had a Taipei death match in the ECW arena. It was in like 93 or 94. I was in high school and I saw that shit live and I was just like,
do you know if that was real? It would be illegal.
That's why they only did it once. Because it was insane. I'll show it to you. It's literally insane.
Guys retired?
There's no way it was real.
Yeah. No, it was because
they're not
because
current.
when they walked around to the ring, they were letting people touch it and they're holy shit, no, this is fucking real, because everyone's like, yeah, this is going to be a gimmick. This is going to be bullshit. It was real.
It was rock candy.
No, dude, it was real because
even rock candy would hurt.
Dude, they were tore up. They bled all over, and not like a gig themselves, but it was bad. It was really
it's actually
bad.
Pretty stupid.
That is very stupid.
That's what they were trying to
do.
do.
As dumb as get. But
yeah,
back to Chuck Liddell for a second. His thing is that he wants to fight John Jones.
He's crazy.
Did you see John Jones's tweet?
Yeah.
No. His tweet
He's
was,
trolling him.
Why don't you test your chin now first, guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
I got Liddell getting killed by him.
I don't think Chuck Liddell on his best day couldn't beat John Jones on his best.
Not only that, the guys that John Jones has fought have fought bigger and stronger and guys who punch harder than Chuck.
Well,
and nobody's
look,
taken
the thing about
Jones down.
The thing about Chuck is I miss Chuck Liddell.
His attitude.
I just miss those fights in that time period because number one, that was when MMA was at its peak in the U.S.
Do you think at some point you're gonna have a talk with Cinnamon Jr. like someday when he's older? Like when I was a kid and we watched the fights, this is what we saw.
I don't think he's going to be in. I keep trying to get him to watch pro wrestling, and he's like, I don't want to watch pro wrestling.
Did you see Daly fight this weekend too?
Yeah,
that was embarrassing.
So Bellator had a fight. So Bellator had a fight.
He fought
Fitch.
He fought Fitch.
And I predicted Fitch was going to kill him.
Fitch wrestle fucked him. Just basically dry humped him, right?
Which is what Fitch was going to do.
Anyway,
right.
It was boring as fuck.
It's not like I didn't think it was boring.
It was boring as fuck. So he's on top of this guy, dry humping his leg. In the third round, Daly, like when the camera's like right there on the cage. So they're on the ground. He's talking shit, and he's like, "Fuck Bellator. This is bullshit. This
see
is
how many
boo.
people you have fans after this fight.
After this, and he's just like boo, and
he's booing the fight too.
He's booing him, and he's getting punched. And he's like boo.
Daly's doing that.
Daly, yeah. So Daly just was like, "Fuck him."
But don't you think it's on Daly a little bit to evolve his game?
They did.
Daly had one good moment at the end of round 1 where he started just teeing off on him. And the whole thing is this: I understand his frustration. If you have a problem with people that are going to take you down, you have 2 options. 1, defend it, or 2, go fight in glory.
Right. Yeah, find a different
sport.
Go fight in glory. Simple.
But that dude's game hasn't evolved at all.
No.
Like he's a pretty good striker with good power.
I remember when Nick Diaz fought him in Strikeforce, and it was like, holy shit, Nick Diaz is going to get teed up. And Nick Diaz handled him. Just fucking handled him.
Daly's sloppy.
Because he relies on his power.
And he throws everything into the punch.
He's like a Melvin Manhoef.
So when he misses, he's so
Bader
awkward.
Destroyed King Mo in 15 seconds.
Oh, I forgot they were fighting.
Steamrolled him.
What did he do?
Just fucking cracked him and just
knocked him out?
Left
hook. And then
I think King Mo's always been overrated.
King Mo dropped down on his butt. And like kind of butt scooted, tried to scoot away, and fucking. You know what it reminded me of? Remember when Lesnar fought Heath Herring?
Yes.
And he bang, and he's just fucking charged him.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. He got on, kind of cradled him, and did the old ear of chance. And just
what's great is as he was
I wish I would have seen that one.
As he was running to
you
jump
watched the whole thing in a GIF.
When he ran to jump on King Mo, his knee hit King Mo in the head. And you see Big John when they were doing the slow motion. He goes, "Oh, that didn't help either."
Yeah.
But when he ran over,
it wasn't intentional.
No, he ran over to jump on top of him, and
it was legal though.
No, he was laying out on the ground.
Whatever. Who cares?
It wasn't on purpose. He was jumping on top of him.
Wouldn't be surprised
if
if
it was
that,
like just hearing Big John go.
Tries to contest it.
Didn't help him either.
Damn.
Probably if they try to contest it, they probably will. They're little bitches.
He
talked all this shit too. He talked all this shit.
What does All In September 1 mean?
Okay, so
glad you asked, Chris.
All In is going to be a historic show on September 1st.
Can you make more noise with that?
I know. So All In is a professional wrestling show that is being completely financed and booked by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. This is why it's historic.
Who's Cody Rhodes?
Son of Dusty Rhodes.
If you will.
If you will, baby. Famous pro wrestling and MMA journalist Dave Meltzer said something to the effect of he doesn't think that anybody could draw 10,000 fans outside of WWE in North America. So Cody Rhodes is like, I'll take that bet.
Could he do it somewhere else?
So they bet $1. So what happened was completely self-financed, and there's no, it's not like, hey, we're going to have all these stars from the past try to sell it or whatever. So they're going to hold it in the Sears Center in Chicago, September 1st. They sold out in under 30 minutes.
How many seats?
10,000.
Okay.
So other than, I think, one AAA Lucha Libre show in 1993, which has an asterisk to it because there's...
Will you be attending?
I tried to take it sold out. Nobody other than Vince McMahon and WCW has sold 10,000 seats. In its heyday, the biggest crowd ECW ever drew was 6.
Really?
The biggest crowd or 6 or maybe 7, the biggest crowd.
Even for like pay-per-views and stuff?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Really?
So this is monumental in the fact that nobody...
We almost went to wrestling like a week ago when it was in Ben Salem somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We almost went and saw it.
But nobody other than Vince McMahon has done that since the territory days. And we're talking like early, mid-'80s. So this is crazy. And it wasn't like, okay, they struggled to get the tickets. Like 30 minutes, those tickets are gone. So it's crazy. It's fucking insane. And I could go on and on about it, but Cody Rhodes is a guy that started off in WWE, and he wasn't happy about how he was being used.
So he's got his own promotion now.
But what he asked for his release, left on good terms, hit the ground running, wrestled fucking everywhere, all over the world. Wrestles now primarily for Ring of Honor, New Japan, but he's a genuine main eventer. He took a gamble on himself, a huge gamble, and is being utilized the way that he sees fit. But guys like Cody Rhodes, guys specifically like the Young Bucks, they're showing a way to monetize themselves as a brand. I mean, Young Bucks have their shirts in every mall in North America. They're in every Hot Topic in America. They're the only non-WWE guys that do it. They have Funko Pop figures, the only non-WWE guys.
Are they in the Bullet Club?
Yeah, they're the ones that help, promote that shit. But since 83 or 85, I don't think that's been done. Maybe 86. That's fucking crazy shit.
What are you doing over
if
there?
you think about it.
I was going to get this ready for Bullet to show.
That's like 30-something years where they haven't done that. So that's a huge victory. They haven't revealed any type of streaming that they're going to do. I imagine they have to.
But you'll get it.
They have to, because they're leaving so much money on the table. You know what I mean? So I'll be watching that. I will pay money.
So September 1st. I will come to your house on September 1st and watch it.
Yes. It's going to be a good time.
Todd?
It's my birthday weekend.
It's so far away, though. He'll forget.
It's my birthday weekend.
Just say yes.
Your birthday weekend? What are you, a 16-year-old girl?
That's his weird thing. Like, whenever there's like some event that him and his family turned out a whole weekend or whatever.
Kind of silly.
Or it's a week.
What kind of silly white person Wednesday shit is
that?
that?
It's so white.
Well, what's great about my birthday weekend is that it always revolves around Labor Day. And
You're gonna get a
4-day weekend.
What are you gonna get, a pony?
Or 3-day. Maybe this year.
I don't.
If I say my prayers and eat my vitamins.
What day of the week do you think September 1st is, Todd?
I have no idea.
Probably a Saturday.
Sunday?
That's a Friday. It's his weekend.
It's a Friday.
It's the weekend.
It's his weekend.
On that note,
are you serious? You wouldn't come to watch it because of your birthday weekend?
I maybe will, because it's my birthday weekend. I can
yeah,
do
he can do whatever the hell he wants. So on that note, check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. You can find us on Out of Pocket Network, who we forgot to mention at the beginning. You can also check us out on comingatyoupodcast.com. Also, support our friends, Philly Comedy Club. Use this comedy podcast code, CAYPOD. Also, check us out November 9th. That'll be the day Bullet gets murdered. Also, check Extreme
walking
Cage.
out the same way I'm walking in. Your world's heavyweight champion.
I thought you were going to say limping.
Learn to live with it. That too.
Also, Extreme Cage Combat. Check out Dads in Cargo Shorts. If you could do us a favor, it would really be appreciated if you share the show. Tell your friends how much you like the show. And watch. And share.
Resp tattoo.
Thank you. And resptattoo.com.
I'm going to be there tomorrow.
You say that every time.
With this belt.
Just ignoring you. And that's it.
In fact, he's going to tattoo this belt across my stomach, so I'll never lose the belt. So there you go.
Alrighty.